reflecting on advice that I received from the 13th and 9th dimensions. We have to learn to trust ourselves, to be true to ourselves, our own feelings. I was in direct communication with, via another channel, Daniel Scranton, actually. I hired him to channel for me. He is a legitimate channel. Maybe I should explain how I know that. I don't want to veer off topic though, because I don't want to lose my thought. First, I want to explain this. So, I can deal with that later. I can touch on that later. So when I found my twin counterpart in, when I found him, I don't want to say where I found him, because he is precious, we are precious, and I need to protect us. So, the energy was really, really intense, and we could handle that energy together. It is our energy, and if there would have been no outside influence on his end, or we would have been allowed to, or if he would have allowed the energy to flow freely as it was intended to, then we could have both, it just would have been different. But as it were, I was left with all of this energy, and he had it too, but he gave it to someone else. When twin flames come in contact with each other, such as me and him, there is like I don't know how to describe it, but it's intense energy. You can't escape it. You can't ignore it. It's impossible. But what happened was, instead of directing that energy towards me, he directed it to someone else, his karmic. And so I was left there standing alone with all of this energy. It was causing me to be very emotional. I was crying all the time. I couldn't hold the energy. I was very ungrounded. And so I then had to find someone to kind of like if you have a magic wand and there's energy coming out of it, and that magic wand is gonna like maybe explode or something, and it's too much power, so you have to redirect the energy from the magic wand and run it through someone else so that they can help you, I don't know what the right word is, not transmute the energy, but absorb or harness or stabilize it. It needed to be stabilized. And so I happen to have, apparently, there was waiting for me, one of my soulmates, and a soulmate is just that, a soul friend. So one of my soulmates, actually he was I was told that he's a spirit guide in one of my other incarnations. One of my closest, the spirit guide, we have 3 main guides that are with us all the time. And one of them is on your right shoulder. Well, he was one of them. I think he was my right hand man. So there was a closeness with us. So I hung out with him, and he was the recipient of that love that was intended for my twin, and it didn't sit right with me. It didn't really sit right with me. I was always looking for my twin, wanting to be with my twin, waiting for my twin to call, hoping to receive a text from him, which he often did, text me. We were in communication. It's not like we weren't, but he was limiting our time together, and also not giving me what I needed from him. So the advice I got from the higher realms, from Yeshua and from the Arcturians, was to and this was after I had some time had gone by. They wanted me to be with someone else, or they suggested that I be with someone else, short term, to pull back my energy from my twin. Because when you pull back your energy from them, then they will start to come towards you and start their healing process. It triggers their healing process, and then this probably isn't making sense to people that don't really. Well, I'm guessing if you're here, you're probably in the same boat. So I told them no. So these are people. This was the point I was trying to make. Like, these people, okay, they're in the higher dimensions. Yes, they have the ability to see down pretty much any timeline you ask them to. But you can't. They're there to help you, but you really ultimately just have to listen to yourself, your own gut. Because if it doesn't feel right to you, even though it's coming from someone with a higher perspective, or a much broader perspective than you have, you still have to listen to your gut and what's best for you. Don't think that these people in the higher dimensions are above you, better than you, somehow more powerful than you are. They're not. They're here to help. They can send us energies, they can help us with advice, they can they can't make decisions for you. You have to listen to your gut. Be confident in yourself and in your own intuition. Because it didn't sit right with me, and I stuck to my guns, and I am fiercely loyal to my twin. And this is the way I want it to be. And that's what's best for me. But the energy that they speak, okay, pull back your energy and give it to someone else. Yes, me. Not someone outside of me. Pull back that energy from your twin and focus on you. And then when you're doing that, you're actually helping them, because your energy is all one anyways. So that way you're not being disloyal. You're actually helping both of your energy to grow, helping both of you to grow. Now, I did have other loves, but they weren't human. Like a bird, my animal friends, my plants. But the point here is that, like how some people, they just follow blindly, or in the olden days, I can imagine like, oh, well, this, like E.T. who was posing as a god told me to do this, or this angel told me to do this, or these higher beings came and they said we must do that. No. You have to follow yourself, your own instincts. It's good to get advice. Like, I have friends in the higher dimensions, and they help me a lot. I wouldn't have been able to deal with all of that had I not had their advice, because I knew right away that my twin was special. And there was all this energy, and I just didn't know. I would have went crazy had I not had them there to help. I'd never heard of the term twin flame before. I didn't know what that was. I just knew what I felt. And then also I had, like a year before meeting him, he had actually, his higher self had come to me in a dream, and I felt his energy. He did that so that I would know him when I'd actually found him in the physical realm. So often before you do find your twin, you will have a succession, like one or a succession of dreams. That's one. I think I'm going to end it here, I guess. I hope that I'm making sense to someone. My mind jumps all over the place, and sometimes it's difficult for me to get my thoughts into words. And I imagine telepathy is so much easier. I know when I'm in a dream and we're speaking telepathically with whomever we're with, it's so much easier than having to verbalize everything.